Good evening, everyone. We are playing DreadLore, a new tabletop role-playing game that rewards immersive roleplay. Tonight's game is the Red Writ.
The Red Writ.
The Red Writ.
Red Writ. In DreadLore, players use their character traits to gain a bit of control over the fiction. If their task is opposed to a particularly difficult, they might have to throw down dice.
Down
low.
In tonight's game, we have Ken playing as
Nord. Zetterberg.
and we have Drizzle playing as
Simon Vincent.
and we have Andrea playing as
Leah Mizrahi.
and last but not least, we also have myself, and I'm playing as Tony. And in addition, we have the Arbiter.
Yeah, that guy.
I hear he was so special he had an award named after him.
Did he?
So yeah, the Tony Award.
And thank you for music from all lowercase letters. Mr. Interrupt. And thank our Patreons. Nostalgic, Natalia Cline, Tim Roberts, and me, Daniel.
Oh, you're Daniel?
Walker. Wait, you're the same Daniel?
Yeah.
No.
And thanks to Couchfire Media for media production.
Media.
Thanks to Arible for whatever they do.
Whatever.
And now for our sponsor.
Yeah.
Our sponsor tonight needs no introduction. All right, now let's go to a recap.
It's just there. It's just there for the taking.
They didn't want
Right,
an
so-
introduction, so
No, they didn't. They're done. Thanks, though, for sponsoring us. Yeah, if anybody wants to sponsor us, you can join the Twitch as a subscription. You can follow. Please join the chat. If you see this on YouTube, you know what to do. Right. Last we left a group of investigators in 1982, Detroit, with some craziness, some occultness going on. Detroit is in shambles, as in more so than it was in 1982 in real life. There's feet of snow on the ground. There's a cyclone ripping and tearing up in the atmosphere. Think the end of Ghostbusters 1 with Zool coming down. All the power's off except for at Grosse Point, which is the rich area. There's a specific house, the Buttes house. And you guys have gotten to it. Last game, you guys rolled up on the Buttes house. I'm not going to go into super details because a lot happened in this. Suffice to say, you went around the house to where the forest and the bald cemetery is, and some kind of seance ritual was going on atop it. And Nord interrupted it, convinced the occultist up there that he should not be sacrificed, but he is someone important. Simon and your NPC, or one of them, Detective John and Mariah, stood by, sort of watching, giving Nord some backup. Meanwhile, Rebecca Foster and Leah attempted to enter the backyard, which is gated, and there's a whole slew of things that went down there. Leah went into the backyard and got bitch slapped by an 8.5 tall statue of an angel. I think she hit you with the bowl she was holding.
No, she threw the bowl over her head and then she.
Oh, that's right. She threw the bowl. At any rate, right. What else happened? Nord convinced the cultists not to sacrifice him, and then somehow convinced them to go back down into the house. What did Nord actually say?
That's a lot of prophecy about the only way you can get eternal life and not become poor is to kill a god.
Right.
So I don't
They are
know.
awaiting us in the elsewhere. We must, in order to get what we deserved, we must go. We must take on and get our victory. What we have been working towards all these many months, we must.
Yeah, there's a lot that Nord said, and it did its job in confusing the hell out of them and sending them back into the house where you all know in the basement, well, I should say Leah knows that in the basement there's some sort of crypt or, summoning circle or who knows, something occulty is down there. Some secret chamber is down there.
Yeah.
And they are heading into the house. Now, the top floor of this mansion has collapsed in on the second floor, which has begun to collapse into the main floor. The house is not on fire per se, as in it's not like a raging inferno, but it will be eventually. It's smoldering. There's parts of it that are charred. There's flames licking around. There was an explosion in there, but it's cold enough and there's enough rain and snow and whatnot to kind of like dampen it. A lot of smoke. So you can actually traverse the house. It should be condemned. It is dangerous, but people are going into it. Last we left Leah, she got hit in the face by this golem, for lack of a better word. She was attempting to destroy the golem in any way she thought she could. And Rebecca Foster, who is apparently now a werewolf, or is becoming a werewolf, essentially saved your life. So that scene that we're going to jump into here in a moment, the statue has turned around. How did you guys get it to stop? Do you remember exactly?
Yeah, Nord melted its head with putty milk. I presume
Nord threw the putty milk, got its head, and so it's this headless statue, and it's sort of in this monstrous, like grotesque, what am I trying to say, position that no statue should ever be in. And as far as you know, it's not moving anymore. The occultists are ripping and tearing and are almost in the house completely. Bedlam, they're like piling in a fervor. They're all high and fucked up and exactly. Right. Simon, Mariah, and John. Okay, you guys had your own little scene over here. Oh, and Tony was there as well. Had your own little scene there. Describe to me what happened with that.
While we were chanting and stuff, and he was coalescing them, we for one, Tony saw something attached to me, and he illuminated it somehow, and it was the spirit of Gabby. And she came over and laid her hand on my chest, and I told her that I would do her proud. We then started to try to deface the runes in the spirit that was, or in the circle that was up top on Bald Hill. We got a little bit done, but nothing substantial. I told all of them to hurry down the hill. I told Mariah to go with Tony, and I shot the gem that was in the middle that was lit up, and this big fire creature came out of it and started blazing fire down the mountain, and I barely kept ahead of it.
Yep. All right, so now that we're up to speed, all that's happening. And see who actually added to this. See, Simon did. Who else talked just now? I guess everybody did. Andrea, do you want to add anything to this?
I don't even know what to add. I mean, well, Leah, when she saw her explosives, land on the roof of the Butte's house, then slide off the side and, land into the yard of the Butte's house. And she also, initially she also confronted Loretta Levon, who was talking to somebody who she hasn't figured out who it is, in front of the statue before, all the rest of that went down.
Yeah, and Loretta is poofed. She's gone.
Yeah.
And I believe the person she was talking to is also gone. Like once the statue came alive.
Yep.
All right. So, because everybody did that, and I thought it was pretty good, you all get 2 XP.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Okay. I'm sure if anybody's listening, it's hard to follow. This game's been going on a minute. But if you have any questions, let us know in the comments or the chat. Drizzle is manning the chat.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You can only have 2 upgrades on anything, right?
Correct.
Okay, thought so.
Unless it specifically says otherwise, but it shouldn't.
Gotcha.
Irie. So where we start? You're all essentially in the same scene right now. Simon, you're hightailing it. You're the last one, stumbling down the hill, rolling at times, leaning back so that you don't just fall and tumble all the way down. You see at the bottom of the hill, Mariah and John have made it to the fence, slam up against the fence, and are trying to get around to where the side gate is that Leah was able to go through. Tony is down there as well, sort of just moving, like lumbering through the snow. So Tony, you're next to them. Behind you, Simon, you see the hellacious beams of hate shooting over top like an alien invasion over this hill. No idea what's going on there. Or perhaps you do. Heat and anger is what you sense. A lot of it. There's a distortion. It's not wind. It feels like wind. You almost feel like there should be a breeze or like someone pushing you, but when you look around, nothing is fluttering. It's like a spiritual wind, if you will. What were you going to say, Nord?
No, I wasn't saying anything.
Nord, you will be standing in front, just a stone's throw away, if you will, of this statue. So you are directly in front of the statue. The statue is between you and the house. Remember, this backyard is rather long. It's like a football field long, okay? And very quickly, you all will be there. You're within shouting distance for sure. Despite the relative bedlam that's entering the house in the form of these 20 some odd occultists, or the ones that have not been shot in the face, it's rather quiet. Well, and the, beam of light thing that's happening way up on the hill up there. Okay, the action's on all of you. You're in the montage.
Leah will actually look now that she's sort of recovering a little bit from her being smacked around. She'll look around, and could she reasonably infer, like from her memories of being, under the house, that the circle on the bald hill is like above where the circle, like where the room that she never actually entered is?
I'd be a guess. The hill's rather tall. It's a football field away. I would say no. It's
Okay.
the circle on the hill is further out. That hallway you went through wasn't a football field long.
Okay, so it wasn't. I was just I couldn't quite remember how long it was. So
It was
trying to
long,
figure
but
out
it wasn't. It wasn't that long. It was like.
Okay.
Let me see. I actually have a map.
Fair.
It was like 30, 40 feet as far as she could tell. I mean, it was a long hallway, but not a football field.
So Leah, I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to put myself in Leah's shoes and like see if I can get a picture of like where exactly Leah would presume that the room would be, like on above the ground.
You mean to blow it up? It would be in the backyard somewhere, you would guess, assuming that the tunnel went straight back. But I'm gonna say, that stairway, like literally
circled around,
was circled around, and actually I think it's a little back-assward. Also at the time, Leah was running away from a big fight that was going on and was out for blood after Loretta Levon. So
True.
I don't think it's immediately. She could guess, but she doesn't know.
Okay.
Your face hurts. Really quick, let's do a description of everybody. How do you feel? What does your character look like? Instead of using numbers like I have 1 plot armor, like describe your character. We'll start with. We might as well do Simon.
Simon, he has shed that coat that he, or not the coat, like the cloak. So he's just back into his normal outfit where he looks not too bad. He looks a little rough around the edges, but in better shape than you would think he would be after all the stuff that's gone down.
Do Nord?
Yes. Nord, I am glowing. I've got a goat pelt on, and it's probably covered in soot and blood and all that stuff, and it's protected my like gloriously sequined vest coat, and it's got I literally luminescent and glowing through my pores. Even to look at Nord, he's like he's sparkling in the moonlight, but there's no moon, and he's kind of a little pasty. If you look him in the eyes, he's definitely seeing things, going places, doing things. He's pretty fucking on a lot of things simultaneously.
How about Leah?
Leah, just like in terms of like physically, she looks like she's pretty, like her face is bruised and she has some dried blood around like her mouth. But if someone was like, looking at her on her clothes particular, there'd be an awful lot, like a lot of dried blood, and someone might wonder why she doesn't look worse than she does.
And how about Tony?
Tony looks like a normal man, but he's in a weird phase where he's paid his last life insurance premium, but the benefit, they're not convinced to pay out yet. He definitely looks frazzled. He's not he is not in the best. He's not the most presentable. He's got some ragged clothes now. But he's got a certain look in his eyes, and most people aren't quite sure why someone would be able to look at them like that. It's almost like a dead stare, you could say.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still got some life in him. Don't get me wrong, but he's got a certain walk to him now.
Mhm.
Just something's very different about him. It's off-putting for people who are around him long enough.
I like it. Meanwhile, we have Mariah, who's with John right now, and Tony. She looks like she's around 15, and she has some, if you get close enough, some white hair underneath. She's going prematurely gray in a way. Otherwise, she seems to be holding up. John, Detective John, he looks like a detective, is old, weathered, and he's looking kind of huffy right now. Or like, no, huffy's the wrong word, actually. He doesn't look angry. He looks distressed and tired. Rebecca Foster looks like a werewolf. All right. There you go. Action's still on all you. What are y'all doing? Talk to each other. That's a start.
Who's hurt? Anybody hurt? Is everybody okay?
I'm still kind of. I'm still injured.
Oh, I feel fine.
Well, I don't think I've
ever felt better.
I think we should pay close attention to our wounds. I think we're getting ready to. I feel like we're on the edge of a precipice, and that it's all coming down soon, and we got to go and stop this thing in just a few minutes. Like we're on a timer or something. I've never felt this way before, but man, oh man, am I feeling it. I'm feeling all of it. It's great.
At least you feel something.
As I'm coming running down the hill, I'll be yelling at John and Tony and Mariah, get inside the gate. We've got to get in as quick as possible.
All right.
Leah, go ahead.
Tony moves straight towards the gates.
Yeah, I'm gonna run in the gates too if I'm outside of the gates.
You're already in the gate.
Okay. I goes carried in.
Yeah. Is the thing? Simon takes a quick look back. Is it chasing him, or is it just still at the top shooting stuff everywhere?
We could probably do a cutscene, but I'm going to answer that question. Something is raging up there. As you look, it almost looks like a random at first. These little lines of light, like a light show, like a rave is going on. A couple trees, like the tops of them catch fire, like they steam as the snow is sublimated, and then like they kind of char, and almost looks frustrated. You can barely feel, Simon, just a little bit of a tremor in the ground, like a from whatever that is up there. So you don't really know what's going on, but it's not chasing you yet.
Okay. I'm yelling. The quicker we get inside and farther away from that, we may be a little bit safe from that.
I don't know. The last time we were in there, Simon, it didn't go well for any of us. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think there is a safe place right now.
I think you're right.
If we're going to stop this, we have to go in.
Oh, I agree.
We need to go in and stop it and get out before the house completely falls.
I think we need to follow that frat cult that just ran in there in front of us. They know where.
Or-
I think they know where they're going.
Or how about we take the back door?
Okay.
Leah will actually look towards the house where she saw the crate fall off the roof. Can she see it from where they're at, or was it sort of obscured by
No,
something else?
it's heavily forested. You know, these are rich people. Lines of trees, or a line of tree, the coniferous style. You know, like little Christmas trees, tall, thin, etc., that are lining the fence. And if you remember, this backyard it has a little bit of a canopy. It's very private back here, so you have to go search for it.
Well, and Katrina will actually hold on, wait, or if one of you wants to come, right, Leah? Fuck.
Uh-oh.
Leah looks in that direction.
What's Katrina gonna do?
All sorts of things.
EVs up there.
Yeah. So Leah looks towards the house. I received the package that is at the base of the house. I can retrieve it real quick, and I have an idea. Anyone want to come with me, or should I just go get it myself real quick?
Yeah, it can't be as bad as getting with you getting into the trunk of a car with you.
Fair enough.
Looks over. Get with her.
So Leah starts heading that way to.
Wait, what does he mean?
I remember when they got in the trunk of the car.
What they do in the trunk?
We eventually got out of the trunk. That's why we're still here.
We all do.
Leah starts heading towards the base of the house.
Follow Leah, because she
I
knows
will
where
also
she's
follow
going.
Leah.
I'm going to go and keep them in line of sight, but I'm going to keep the door to the back door line of sight as well. So I'm going to try to bridge the gap to watch what's going on.
Before Leah gets too far away, Leah will actually turn to the werewolf woman whose name I can't remember. Rebecca. Leah will actually turn to Rebecca and say, "Can you keep this area secure while we do this real quick?"
You see her kind of grimace at the thought of standing still. She kind of nods real quick.
We won't be long.
I'm also going to reload the blunderbuss while I'm standing here.
Leah actually slings her crossbow thing real quick, and then just pulls out her pistol as she's walking that direction.
So you guys make it to the back of the house. Nord, yes?
Oh, I was just gonna say, if I see Rebecca, because I think I was looking for her before. Are you okay? You kind of just disappeared.
She quickly turns, and faster than... It's almost like she blips. She moves so fast. As she grabs you by the back of the head, leans you back, and starts making out with you.
with like a dog tongue.
Well, she didn't have a dog tongue. She's not fully transformed.
She's not fully. Okay, good.
Also,
good
where animal would she be? We don't know.
Oh, nice. I think a kitty cat.
Where badger?
Where chipmunk?
Anyway.
Oh,
Come
where
on, that was funny.
cougar?
A where?
A were cougar. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she molests the shit out of Nord. Anyone who
I just take
can
it
see
because I'm feeling all the things, and this is the best thing ever.
I'm going to turn Mariah around to away.
You do. Okay. So, still montage. Rebecca is relentlessly molesting Nord. Trigger warnings for anybody. They're in a relationship, kind of. Leah, you and the rest, whoever is with Leah, gets to the back of the house, and you guys start searching around. Doesn't take you too long. By this point, the acolytes have gotten inside. You hear a couple. You hear some crashing. Imagine like the worst frat party in the world, and the house is literally on fire, or smoldering. they are breaking shit and doing full-on insane revelry in there. You can hear the sounds of people fighting and having sex and breaking stuff and moving down stairs. Meanwhile, like a timber or two will fall. You hear like a don't know what's going on in there. Simon, from your vantage point, you can see this. And in front, so in the foreground, you see Rebecca making out with Nord. In the background, you can see this little door, Sodom and Gomorrah going on. Okay. Leah, as you're searching around, you in fact find the box with the parachute and everything. It's all tangled up in one of the trees and kind of half open, or not half open, half cocked and whatnot, but you can reach it.
Gotcha. So I do.
Tony, you're there, of course.
I go through the whole process of reaching the box and getting it open.
Now, do we know what's in the box?
I asked for explosives and RPG type stuff, but whatever. But she doesn't necessarily know what they sent her actually.
Right. Okay. Right. So you will start going through that, and we're going to find out what they have pretty quick. We're going to do a random roll for it.
Cool.
See what goodies and such. As you're pulling that down, I'm assuming Tony is helping you get the actual package down and start to get it open. You guys talking at all while you're doing this? Anything else? Paying attention to anything? What?
Leah would definitely be keeping half of her attention on the door just in case someone comes through that they don't want to come through.
So you're around the side of the house, so you can't see the back door, but you can see
gotcha.
some of the windows. And as you look down, you can see, since there's a basement, and you know that the stairway goes actually past the basement.
Yeah.
There's a little window about yay big, maybe like a foot and a half, one of those half windows. You could slide it open and whatnot, and you can see down into the basement. You see some of the cultists going over, and as they're going down the spiral staircase past the basement down into the bottom.
Gotcha. Okay.
So actions on you two if you're doing anything, or you, Simon.
Nope. Katrina's just searching through the box.
Okay. It'll be a minute as I get that.
Fuck Leah.
I will check on John while this is going on. Just seeing how he's...
He's as I described him.
Yeah.
You say anything to him?
I'm just like... I'm assuming we have to go down in there and stop whatever this ritual is.
Whoever goes down there is probably not going to come back out. As you hear from behind you, way back at this point, past the trees, past the gate and everything, but it's on the hill. As he kind of turns, maybe both of you do. What do you think that was?
My best guess is, as they were sacrificing people, that was the collection of the souls. And so when I shot it, it released them, but they're angry because it wasn't what they wanted.
Well, it seems pissed off for sure. You sure it was just souls? Did you see any of the runes?
I saw some of the runes. I'll describe the couple that I saw to them. I probably didn't see all of them, but I saw the ones I tried to deface.
Okay. If you wish, you can bid, or you can just kind of go and get what you want.
I will bid my action, which is detects, meaning that I detected some of the runes.
All right. As you bid that, we drop into the dread, and you describe these runes to John as he sits there and thinks. You describe, maybe you draw a couple of them half-cocked in the snow.
Yeah.
As he says, all right, well, that's a seal of binding of some sort, I can tell. He kind of scratches his head. Detective Grant was a lot better at these. And Janice is almost a master. I know it's a seal of binding. Hold on just a second.
Yeah, sorry.
I know it's a seal of binding. I don't know. I mean, they seem pretty crazy. They could have been summoning something too. You know, there's more than just one thing that goes bump in the night. Especially if these people are dealing with the gloaming and the between.
Do I overhear this in my makeout session at all? Or am I free?
I don't think so, unless you want to bid. She's unclothing. She's disrobing you and herself and is beginning to fuck you.
Rebecca, Rebecca, I love this. We got some shit we got to do first before we do this, but oh my god, I love this so much. This is
now. We don't have X cards in this game, but if you guys want, if you're ever in a situation where you're like, I don't like this, then just do this, and I'll know. So guess what she does, Nord?
Oh, what is that?
Let's go in that direction.
Oh shit.
She gonna fuck you, dog.
I'm gonna build. I'm gonna bid something to hopefully.
So real quick to refresh my memory, is Grant the one I unalived?
I'm sorry.
No.
It just
Grant.
No.
Grant was the one on top of the lighthouse.
Yeah, he's the lighthouse guy. He was the nice guy. He was the big dude. If you've seen Umbrella Academy, he's the big guy, the big assassin.
Okay.
That was Grant.
Gotcha.
I mean, this will just be 3 times tonight, Rebecca. I mean, I don't know how much I have left. I'm like 50 years old. This is a lot. I'm dry.
What do you bid?
I'm gonna bid. Fuck.
Well, that won't work.
Don't bid that.
I'm gonna bid kinky, which is a flaw I have, is to try to be a dom with her and to try to make later feel better. And I'll grab her by the neck and I'll like shove her back. It's like, but if you wait for it, we can really go good.
If you can make that dirty, you can just use the bid. Go for it.
Earmuffs.
Rebecca, I want to strap you down in the van and I'm gonna
you have her attention.
I'm gonna tie you in and we're gonna get Skip to floor it just to go as fast as he can while driving, and you'll be suspended in the air, and we'll tie you back and over, and then I'm gonna tease you. I'm gonna tease you with it.
All right, you have convinced her. As I'm not going to sext with you, Ken, but she will. As you say these things to her, Simon, there's a point where maybe you and John actually hear this. You turn and look. John's like, it's not bad. As Rebecca stands up, she'll pull you to your feet. Your clothes are ripped off, or like your shirt's all ripped open, and like your fly's undone, and like her top's off, and she's sitting there. There's steam just going off of her, like billowing off of her. There's something up with this woman. Nord, I don't know what she looks like to you, but probably cool as shit. She
Yeah.
kind of waves her hair. It's like all 1980s
it's all in
style.
slow motion. It's in slow motion. She's floating, like all any straps she have are they're like shimmering in the light. And I'm gonna tell her, first we fight, then we fuck.
As she howls at the moon. Maybe right then the clouds part. And in fact, it is coming on the full moon, like just enough. All right.
Simon, I think we should go in there. Are they back yet? Wherever they went?
No. Glad you got yourself under control there.
Yeah. Well, I heard you say you talking about something with binding, and I've been kind of reading into that sort of thing. And then I pull out. This might be too much for you, Simon, but I'll show it to John. I've got a photograph of Gabby. She did all these runes of protection that I felt like might help us through the night. I don't know how we can implement this necessarily, but I was trying to draw this over their spell or whatever it is that they created at the top of the hill earlier, and it was slow going because they really dug deep, and it was hard to look over at Rebecca. It was hard to not go deep. John? Simon?
Sorry, Leah always sends me into a mechanic thing where I have to go look up shit.
But I think that, if we could draw enough of these circles, particularly this, and I'll take my staff and I'll kind of etch it in the snow really quick. I don't know if this will help us a little bit, but I think it'll at the very least offset whatever it is they're doing in the short term, just throughout wherever we're going in the house. And I just kind of, Rebecca, I know you're not, you want to do something. Just help me draw weird circles like this just around really while we're waiting. And Mariah, you too. This is like a family friendly thing that you can do. Draw some circles in the snow. I think it'll help. And I'll bid something.
All right. We're just gonna have to go basic on this because I cannot find a modern TTRPG random table. Okay. So before we deal with that bid, Nord, I want to get this list done because this is going to take way longer than it needs to. So Leah, roll a d6. We'll have Simon, you get a d100, Tony get a d100, and Nord get a d100. Don't tell me the number yet, just keep it in mind. Leah, what'd you get?
2.
All right. You see, we'll do a d6 plus 1 and say 3.
Yeah.
Or you can do a proficiency if you want. So yeah, your name.
Why not?
Higher is
I'll do
better.
proficiency. I'll do a proficiency.
Higher is definitely better.
That's a 4.
Okay, so you have 4 plus 1, so 5. 5 grenades. That's it. No, I'm kidding. All right, so you definitely have 5 grenades. This is extremely short notice and into the U.S. from Canada. So, they can't give you too much.
Yeah.
All right. What'd you get, Nord?
I got a 59.
59. Well,
Should have been a 69. Maybe I should re-roll one of them.
It's not incredible, but it's perfectly fine. Leo, roll a d6.
3.
All right. You have 3 gallons of gasoline in here.
Okay.
Tony, what'd you roll?
54.
Got some more gasoline. Leah, roll d6. We got you grenades and gas.
Well,
4.
it is
You got 7 gallons total of gasoline. It's actually pretty good. It's not bad.
gasoline is it was a bad time for gas. In
It was
1982.
actually extrely hard to get gasoline in 1982.
It was like, what else do you need in a
Narrative point for the win. Absolutely.
Gas was important.
It was
probably super important.
Really,
super
really
long
hard
lines.
to get gas.
I'm gonna spend
right.
that narrative point saying that they, had some foresight and helping her, gave her straps or something to carry 7 gallons
Sure.
of gas.
Yeah. There's some straps so it's in canisters where you could like wrap it around your body and like a harness, and you could run around with gasoline in the burning house if you want. There'll be gas cans though. So like military gas cans, they will blow.
just like Bill did just now. Totally just blew. And that was the end. I feel like I'm alone. And we have just had a pretty amazing technical difficulty. It looks like Drizzle and Hulk are out, and who knows? Who knows what's happening as we continue the red writ. I mean, I'm gone. I wonder if I lost internet connection and I'm just here alone. It must be me. It must be me. This is kind of like a wild place to be. My internet went poop. Let's see if my internet really went poop. It did. It's me. Okay.